Welcome to Brilliant Women in E-commerce, series of interviews as part of International Women's Day 2023 with the theme Embrace Equity. My name is Emma Bagley. I'm your host today. I'm also the founder of a digital marketing agency specializing in Amazon. So I'm delighted to be interviewing Ellie Webb, the award-winning founder of non-alcoholic spirit brand Caleño. Welcome, Ellie.
Hi, Emma. Thank you so much for having me.
An absolute pleasure. So, do you want to add any more to our introduction? Award-winning? Is it multi-award-winning? Tell me more about your awards.
But I guess start with being an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur, I guess, for around 4 or 5 years when I started my business, and I am very honoured to have been during that time awarded Food and Drink Entrepreneur, Great British Entrepreneur Awards. I've also won awards with the drinks business, which in our industry is a really great accolade. So Young Achiever of the Year there. Really fortunate to have kind of experienced those and been awarded those. So really proud.
Amazing. Congratulations. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that in our interview today. But starting off, obviously, with the theme of International Women's Day, and the theme this year is Embrace Equity. So what does Embrace Equity mean to you and also to your business?
I think for me and in the context of my business, it means sort of recognising that certain groups of people, quite often in my case, women, require different levels of support to reach equal outcomes as others. And I think it also comes by recognising that we're not always on a level playing field, and therefore sometimes extra support, resource, opportunity is needed to get there. So I think it comes from understanding that first. And in terms of what it means to me and my business, I think we ensure that we recognise where members of the business might need more support, resource and access to new opportunities. I myself mentor people from diverse backgrounds or people that have had access to same level of support and resources as other people, all may face biases. So for me, that's what I guess the equity theme for International Women's Day means for me.
Lovely. And has there been any time that you'd care to share where you have faced any form of discrimination because of your gender, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, look, unfortunately, I think there are a few times definitely where I felt, and I know other women have faced just ingrained biases in our society. I can definitely remember a time, and this is probably just one of a few, but where early in my career, I was sent to meet a client, and I was told afterwards it was because I was a active young female, and that didn't particularly great to hear, that I was sent to go to a meeting based on looks or my age, but rather than actually merit and doing the job. So yeah, I think unfortunately you come to learn that is part and parcel at the moment, and it's up to us to change that and really change people's biases and opinions, and that takes time. But with movements like the IWD and what they're doing really helps that and helps kind of raise awareness of what's going on as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for supporting this series of events as well. So to inspire female entrepreneurs and those especially in e-commerce. So thank you. So my question then to you, I absolutely adore talking to entrepreneurs. So please, can you tell me about your entrepreneurial journey, about your successes and your failures as well, or your learning experiences? And is Caleño the first business that you have launched?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So what have you enjoyed most and least? And what do you owe your success as an entrepreneur? So successes, failures, enjoyed, least enjoyed, and what do you owe your success? There's a lot of questions packed in there.
Yeah, so I first launched Caleño 4 years ago, And to take it back to the beginning, it was really out of, I guess, a personal need. So I worked for most of my 20s in the alcohol industry. And I found myself doing dry January 1 month, and I really struggled with it because, one, I still wanted to go out and socialise with my friends, but kind of two, the options were normally Diet Coke and water, and I would just feel like I was really excluded from the drinking experience, and it just kind of led me to wonder why, when actually I worked in an industry that was so exciting, diverse, innovative, but felt like they'd really missed the trick when it came to offering people better options. So that's really where the idea came from. And then a couple of months later, I travelled out to Colombia in South America, where I have lots of family. So my mum's from there, and her side of the family live over there. So I went out there for a month or so just to travel around and experience the culture and the food. And I'd grown up with a South American family. It's lots of parties, it's lots of music, it's lots of dancing. It's very kind of positive. The South Americans have a real way of kind of bringing life to the party, and I just took on inspiration from that. And I think, having had this experience in January and actually wanted to create something that felt grown up, could be drunk as part of a cocktail, or something I could drink instead of my gin and tonics or, my rum and cokes. And so actually this trip gave me loads of inspiration. I took different fruits from there that we actually ended up using the distillation. So papaya, Inca berries, pineapples, even the bottles, they're super vibrant and colourful and stand out, because I didn't want anyone to feel embarrassed about choosing not to drink, and actually wanted to bring a lot of energy and fun. And also just even the way that we activate as a brand, it's very upbeat. It involves dancers and music, and our mission is very much about showing people they don't need alcohol to have a great time. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a little bit about my journey. And then success and failures, I mean, it genuinely feels like every 3 or 4 months there's a disaster around the corner. I've had experiences where just before Christmas, lorries carrying quite a large amount of stock caught fire on the motorway and basically cleaned out all of our stock. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it was something to deal with. I've had to through and drive the business through a pandemic, which of course was really tough. But then on the success front, really paved the way in this industry. It's a new category, so we've had to build a new category at the same time, also build a brand. And I'm really proud that we've been able to not just kind of evolve from being a D2C brand, so having our own website presence and being available on Amazon, to also being stocked with retailers like Waitrose, Sainsbury's, M&S, Ocado, and also now going into restaurant chains and bars across the UK. So we're now stocked in thousands. So it's all part of a kind of a really great ecosystem where people can hopefully spot the brand in lots of different places. So really proud of that. And in terms of what I've enjoyed the learning aspect of it. I've enjoyed growing a team. I've enjoyed the creative side of building a business and coming up with new ideas and innovative solutions to problems. I don't enjoy when things go wrong, and because it can be quite painful. But at the end of the day, it does make you stronger. So there's that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's really great to hear, great to listen to. And your brand is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. In terms of that brand and obviously carving a new niche, new category, what gave you the confidence to be able to say, right, I've got this amazing idea, I can do this, I'm going to do this, and you did it? Because I know the drinks industry is highly competitive, and there's a lot of big players with a lot of money, capital to invest into new product ranges. And then there's a new brands like Caleño coming in. How I suppose it's a confidence question, really. How do you have that self-belief to say, I'm going to do this and I will do it, and you have successfully done it?
Look, I think confidence definitely builds. For me, it's over time. At the beginning of my career. I wasn't particularly confident. I was inexperienced. Other people in the room would speak louder and you just, shut up, listen. And I think I just really had confidence and conviction in my idea, and actually just could see with real clarity that this was something that, although not many other people could see it, and a lot of people felt that the non-alcoholic space was just going to be a fad and it would blow over, I just really felt, because I'd seen it myself and because I'd experienced it with my friends, I sort of thought, actually, this is not something that is a fad or will just blow over. It's not like orange wine or, just a certain variant of a tequila. It's actually more than that. It's really ingrained within the health and wellness, actually people wanting to look after themselves more, live slightly healthier lifestyles. And because it's tied to that, I just felt really confident in this idea and what it could mean for the industry. So yeah, I backed to myself, and I think that just meant I was super excited about it. And so it didn't really leave much confidence, much room for doubt.
Yeah.
I just sort of dived in at the deep end first, and maybe there was an element of naivety around what it actually takes to be a business and grow a brand. And actually I was really excited about a new adventure and opportunity and setting out to prove myself, that I probably didn't really much. I'm not an overthinker, so that probably helped. I didn't really overanalyze it. I just wanted to kind of get going.
That's really interesting, because I was interviewing somebody else in the drinks business, actually the wine business, earlier as part of this series. She said exactly the same. She had so much self-belief. She didn't overthink. She just did it. And then yesterday, another person I was interviewing literally just said she was lazy. So she tried to find the quickest route to doing something. So therefore she didn't overthink. She just did it. She wanted the quickest route to growth or profit or whatever a project, was at the time. And so that's really interesting. Whereas other women, and I'll probably include that in myself, is the imposter syndrome kicks in.
Yeah.
The analysis by paralysis definitely kicks in. And I wonder why some women feel like that and then some women don't feel like that. Have you always been of that kind of ilk, where it's like mindset, I'm going to do it, and I did it?
Yeah, I think so. It's like I wouldn't say that I'm like an overly confident person. I think that is something that's built over time. But when it comes to making decisions, I think you make an analysis based on what you know, and also like a certain element of gut instinct. And I suppose I've always kind of leaned into that and trusted my instincts. And I think some entrepreneurs, naturally are quite impatient, and I'm probably quite an impatient person. So I think once you have an idea and I get going, I've been fortunate. I've never really felt imposter syndrome, or there's definitely times when I think, bloody hell, like this is, what I look back at what I've achieved, and I think back, I've written a diary that I've kept of my thought, what I'm thinking and feeling at the time. And sometimes I look back to 4 years ago and I just think, even just the thought about hiring my first employee just seemed sort of so alien to me. And then I think you do that, and it's small steps. So it's being an entrepreneur and building business is a series of being small incremental steps towards a bigger goal. So yes, if you looked at ahead to 4 years and you would think, oh my God, I can't possibly ever imagine getting there. You can dream about it. But the process is actually, it's broken down a lot, and that can feel a lot more manageable. So I guess anyone that's suffering from that or feeling like they're suffering from a bit of imposter syndrome, it's really just actually looking at it as a series of smaller steps towards a bigger goal, as opposed to kind of focusing too much on the end. I mean, obviously that can be quite motivating too. So it's always a bit in mind, but it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, I suppose as well, if you were to look at the bigger players in whatever industry you're trying to compete in, if you're trying to benchmark yourselves against them who have probably been in the industry many years and is very well established, to do that could be quite debilitating in terms of it, like the imposter syndrome, because it's so far away. So I really like what you said there in terms of, you taking a step-by-step approach and focusing on like what's in front of you, having that goal, but actually, taking everyday learning and, building your skills, building your network, moving forward, taking action. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.